today I am doing a review on Everneath by Brodi Ashton. So Everneath actually describes itself very well without giving too much away. If you read the back cover, it says just enough, and I really couldn't sum it up any better than it does. It says, 6 months ago, Nikki Beckett vanished into an underworld known as the Everneath. Now she's returned to her old life, her family, her boyfriend, for another 6 months before she leaves again, this time forever. She has 6 months before the Everneath comes to claim her. 6 months for goodbyes she can't find the words for. 6 months to find redemption, if it exists. And it's basically a retelling of the Persephone myth, dealing with the underworld and a mortal girl who has to go down there and stay there and leave behind her whole life on the surface in our dimension, or whatever we want to call it. And it's a modern day take on that story, and I found it very interesting. I am going to give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. There were a few things that I felt like could be improved upon in this story, in this book, but overall I really enjoyed it, and I will be picking up this series as it continues. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. If you like mythology and, you know, all those stories and stuff, you probably enjoyed this book. I did, and I'm only slightly interested in mythology, so I know you'll definitely be interested in it if you like mythology. Alright, so I'm going to go on to discuss the book. So if you haven't read it, please go read it. You'll enjoy it. It was a fun read, and come back and watch my review. Alright, bye all of you who haven't read. Bye! So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I don't know if it's just me, but when I was like reading this book, I kind of expected that there'd be more of a, I guess, a love triangle between Nikki and Jack and Cole. And I really didn't have one. I mean, there was, okay, Jack was amazing, and there was really no competition. Like, Cole couldn't compete with that. I'm sorry, but he couldn't. And, you know, even when Nikki was doubting Jack about his loyalty and, like, if he was with Lacey, I was like, no, I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see him being the backstabbing type. And, you know, so I loved him the whole time, and so Cole never really stood a chance, which I kind of felt bad for him. And I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to have that reaction for the bad guy figure in a story, but I did. I felt bad for him because he couldn't compete with Jack. He, you know, it was obvious from the beginning how he felt about Nikki, and she was totally oblivious to it. Even towards the end, she's like, no, I don't believe that he actually has feelings for me. It's impossible, da da da. Why is it so impossible that he has feelings for her? They might not be the same kind of emotional, he's got a heart kind of a thing as Jack, as a normal boy. He still loved her. He still had feelings for her, and she was totally oblivious to that, and so I kind of felt bad for him there. Another thing, he did not deserve the ending there. The ending really bothered me because, okay, if you kill Cole, what is that gonna solve? What is that gonna solve, Nikki? What is it gonna solve? Tell me. Please tell me. Because she's still gonna, the tunnels are still gonna be calling for her. She's still gonna have the shade in her shoulder. She's still gonna end up with a battery, basically. And honestly, like, for being the bad guy, Cole was the only one who was offering her any reasonable alternative to being a battery in the tunnels, and I was really, like, upset with her when she was like, oh, if we kill him, then I won't have to go to the tunnels. He has nothing to do with the tunnels. He told her that. He swore up and down that he had no power to control her going to the tunnels unless she went with him. Killing him is not going to do you any good, other than you'll be killing your one, like, other option. I felt like that was really unnecessary for them to want to kill him. Also, I just felt so bad for him when he figured out what they were doing when they were at the condo and they threw his guitar over the balcony, and he was just like, you would really kill me. He looked really upset by it, and I was just like, he did not, okay, he was the bad guy, I guess, but he's like the bad guy that you like. Like, there wasn't really a bad guy in this book, and if it had been anyone, it would have been him. But, you know, he didn't deserve to be killed. okay, and he didn't deserve to be betrayed like that. I was just like, I was really upset. I was really like, I just really felt bad for him. Like, that was... Nikki, what the heck? Cole did not deserve that, okay? So I had a lot of, I liked Jack, I really, really liked him, and I liked how sad this book was, yet it didn't make me cry. That's a good thing. The whole time, the whole book, I was like, no matter how sweet Jack is, how wonderful they are together, I'm like, I knew it was going to end badly, and so I was not letting myself get attached to them as a couple in the book. I knew that at the end, one of them was going to be going and off to the tunnels. I knew it wasn't going to end well for them, and so I did not let myself get emotionally attached to them. Like I haven't other books, and it's been a disaster. I really enjoyed how sad and kind of heartbreaking this story was, and how much of a hard situation that Nikki was in, and having to choose how to say goodbye to people when you can't really say goodbye. So that was like a misunderstanding I had from the beginning of the book. I thought that until about halfway through the book that her father knew where she'd been, that he knew that she was a forfeit, that he knew that she you know, had gone to the Everneath. I thought that was what the deal was. In the beginning of the book, that he was surprised that she came back. I thought that meant that he expected her to stay in the Everneath. But no, apparently not. Oh, and then the other thing that I felt so stupid. I felt so stupid. Okay, so you know, when I picked this book up at the library, I read the back, I read the little inside sleeve thingy, and I read it, and I'm reading the book, and I'm probably like a good 2/3 the way through this book. I'm reading the book. Wait, they're called Everlivings? Everliving? Since when? Since when are they called Everliving? I've been calling them Everlings for like the first 2/3 of this book, and I never picked up on that they were called Everliving. I was calling them Everlings. Don't ask me why. I just was. I judged myself so hard for this. Oh, okay, the biggest surprise though, I did not see coming, was the whole Meredith Mary thing. You know, I believed her when she said in the beginning that, oh, I'm 17 years old, you look so young, why do you look so young, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, it's really weird how most of them end up, how most of the forfeits end up is just like raisins basically. They age and they get, you know, mentally unstable. The whole concept of the daughters of Persephone was so messed up. It was so bull. Like, that's horrible. How these women raise their daughters to be forfeits, and they raise them to not have any emotional attachments, not have any like connections with the world and with the surface. And the moment that they're gone and they go to be a forfeit, they like cut all ties with them and just, you know, forget about them. Meredith's mom was a horrible human being. Oh yeah. I forgot about her the moment she left the forfeit and was like, how do you sleep at night? The whole Daughters of Persephone thing was bullshit. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. You know, there were a lot of things I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that it wasn't really a competition between Cole and Jack. I felt like that was kind of, it would have been more interesting, I guess, more entertaining to actually have seen a actual love triangle going on between those three, and if she actually did have emotion, you know, have feelings for Cole and Jack, I felt like that would have been more entertaining to read. Hopefully they'll go into in the second book, and, you know, however many books there are, because I feel like that was kind of lacking, that conflict of who am I going to choose, but it never really was a choice. She never really did consider going with Cole. It always came back to Jack, and like, that yes, she was going to stay and let the tunnels take her, which I felt was kind of a stupid choice. Personally, I would have picked Cole. As Jack put it, better to rule the underworld than serve it. Hey, that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how many else of you out there that think that that's probably the right choice, but... So, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you soon. Bye.